Hello, welcome to our class. I'm glad you're able to join us. And in this short little, about 30-minute class for you today. This one is designed for focus and attention. And we'll be using your mind a little bit on a couple of the poses to help strengthen that right and left and that brain hemisphere and that corpus callosum. You will need a blanket for your knees, one block, and a cushion to sit on. So if you don't have any of those things available, maybe just pause the video and grab them. So we are going to start in a standing position, as you can see, and we're going to start with some gentle shaking to release the body, release the fascia, start warming up. All right, getting our prana, our chi, starting to move through our body. And just let the shoulders really release down, shake the hands good. Let the heels sort of thump into the floor. And letting the breath go. And it's a little bit longer. Shaking it all out. And then stop. And just close your eyes and notice. Maybe you feel a little bit more tingling in your legs, in your arms, in your fingertips. That's just getting those meridians and our energy pathways starting to warm up and move. So from here, let's go into a moving mountain. Inhale the arms up. You can come up on your toes a little bit. We're going to pause for 2 after the inhale, and then exhale, release the arms back to the side. Inhale up, pause for 2 counts. Exhale, the hands back down to your side. Inhale up, pause for 2, always finding a gaze point on the floor in front of you to help you with your balance. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So inhale, maybe grow a little bit taller. Come up on your heels a little bit. Exhale, you soften your elbows. Inhale up. Pause for 2. Exhale, soften the elbows. Heels come down halfway. Inhale up. Pause for 2. Exhale. Soften one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Pause for 2. And then let the arms come back down to the side. As usual, we take that pause after our poses just to notice maybe any changes. The pauses are just as important as the pose. It makes that map differentiation and that integration. Okay, let's come to the top of your mat. We'll start with that warrior 1. So top of the mat, left foot forward, right foot steps comfortably back. Your left foot is angled in slightly. Really grounding down through the heel of your foot and your whole foot. So it's a little bit of an angle, and you're going to always adjust your stance as we go along. You can, it's your choice, of course, because this is your practice. And always we stack up our joints, shoulders and hips above each other. So we're both sort of turned forward. So we're going to take our left hand, place it on our left hip. And then from there, we're going to use our right arm to lift up, bending into that left knee. So it's like your knee and your arm are connected. So inhale up, watch the tracking of your knee. Make sure it's tracking over your second and third toe. Inhale up. And we're going to add that pause for 2 now at the top. Exhale down. Inhale up. Pause for 2 counts. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Pause for 2. Exhale, release. And inhale up. Pause for 2 and stay there. So inhale, lengthen through that right arm. We're grounding into the feet. Inhale, lengthens like your breath is lifting your ribs up out of your hips. We're still pausing for 2 at the end of the inhale. Inhaling, pause for 2. And exhale, soften. Inhale, pause for 2. Exhale, soften. From here, we're going to add on. And this is where it's going to take a little bit of attention. So let that right arm drop. Take your weight towards your left foot and then draw your left arm up and your right knee. Switch the cross of your arms if you step back with your right leg. So your right arm and your right leg are your right arm is up and your right leg is back. Once again, we lean forward into our left leg, lifting up the right leg with the left arm. Switch the cross of your arms as you come back. It's a little bit of trickiness and take some little attention. Inhale. Again, if you need to stop the video and watch, you can. So right arm is up, right leg is back. Inhale. Left arm up, draws the right leg. We'll do one more. And this time we'll see if we can hold it. So you're holding your left arm up and your right leg. And then let's release that right foot to the floor. Take a pause, let your breath settle. And just notice the changes between your right and left leg. That one's always a little bit tricky, and every time I do it, I always have to sort of refocus on what arm does what. So let's move to the other side. So right leg is forward, left leg is back. Comfortable stance. Your left toes are just slightly pointed inwards. Again, check your joints, make sure your hips and your shoulders are aligned. And this time we'll put our right hand on our right hip. And then our left arm will lift up as we're bending into the right knee. Exhale down. Inhale, bend into the right knee. Pause for 2 at the end of the inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. Pause for 2. You can always follow your hand with your eyes. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale down. And last time, so inhale up. Pause for 2 at the end of the inhale. And then stay up. So inhale. Pause for 2. Exhale, we soften. Inhale, pause for 2. Exhale, soften. You're grounding into the feet. Checking your alignment. It's reaching tall on each inhale, keeping that pause for 2. Last time. Inhale, reaches tall. And then we're going to drop the right arm down. And we're going to take our weight into our right foot. Draw the left knee up when the right arm comes up. Step that left leg back as your left arm goes up. Right arm draws the left knee up. Switch the cross of the arms as you come back. So right now, our right arm is back with our left leg. Inhale. Right arm up, left knee. Step it back. And this time we'll see if we can hold. So left knee is up with the right arm. And is holding. Keep breathing. Do a little bit of a balance. And then exhale your left foot back down to the floor. Lower your right arm. Just taking a pause, noticing the difference between your one leg and the other, your left and your right. Maybe the back of your hamstrings and the right leg are feeling a little bit different. Maybe you feel it more in your shoulders. It's sort of whatever is noticeable to you, that's right. So let's come to a wide stance on your mat. We're going to go into a warrior two from here. So let's start with the left side. So turn your left toes towards the front of the mat. Your back foot, your right foot is angled in slightly. As usual, your hips are pointing to the upper right-hand corner of your mat. And from here, we're just going to inhale our arms out at shoulder height, bending into that front knee. Check your tracking. Again, you can widen your stance or adjust your stance as you go along. Sometimes you just wiggle your toes forward into the mat to bring you a little bit forward. So let's do maybe one or two more of these. Make sure you're lengthening through those inner thighs and we're hugging in on the back into those gluteal muscles. This time we'll stay. Release the shoulders down your back, always filling up like that air. Bring your ribs up out of your hips. On the exhale, you hug in, and relax, looking out over your left fingertips. Nice, strong warrior. From there, let's drop that right hand down your back of your right leg. Turn your left fingertips or turn your left hand over, lifting up your left hand to reverse warrior and keep your knee bent. This is a nice, big, wide or long opening along your left side of your body. We'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. Maybe pausing after the inhale again. It's a pause for two. And one more. And release back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Let's just turn your legs both so they face the front to your toes. And take a notice and see if you've made any changes. Maybe that back of the right leg or the side of the right leg feels a little bit different than the front or than the left. Okay, let's do the other side. So turning your right toes towards the other end of your mat, so they face the mat, your left toes pointed in slightly, a little bit of an angle. We'll come up 4 times. Inhale, arms up at shoulder height, bending into that right knee. Let your breath fill you up. Exhale, really hug in. Inhale, breath fills you up. Exhale, hug. And inhale, fills you up. Shoulders release down the back. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Just breathing. lengthening through the inner thighs, hugging in on the outer. Check your tracking. At each breath, fill you up just like a hot air balloon. And then let's drop the left hand down your back. So it's down along your left thigh. Turn your palm of your right hand up and then lift that up. Let the left hand slide down your back leg to reverse warrior, looking up at your hand if you like, or you can just look straight ahead. And let's add the pause after the inhales on this one. So inhale, pause for 2. Exhale. Inhale, pause for 2. Exhale, soften. One more time. Inhale, pause for 2. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Lower your hands down. You can walk your feet back. We'll just take a little quick pause. And notice the changes. Hopefully you feel a little bit more balanced on this. Let's do a little bit of rebound. Let's a couple of poses. We'll just shake it out. And let the arms go. Let the knees release. And let's stop. Let's pause. Let everything settle. Okay, we're going to do Bhavasana. It's a pose of ideation. So maybe step your feet about shoulder width apart. Your toes can be pointed out slightly. I'll get started. You can join in with me. We've done this a few times in class. For anyone just need a quick reminder, you can see what I'm doing, and then I'm sure you'll be able to join in from me. So we're going to inhale our arms up overhead, place them in prayer position, bring them down to your chest at the same time, bending your knees out slightly, and take your awareness, take your focus to your third eye center. Inhale, arms reach back up, the knees straighten. Take your left hand, slide it down on the inside of your right arm as your right arm comes down to about shoulder height. And let your hand rest just just underneath your right collarbone. Once again, take your focus to that third eye center. Inhale, slide the left hand back up the right, and then come over to the other side. So right hand comes down along the inside of your left arm. Let it release just underneath your collarbone. So again, your knees are slightly bent out to the side. Take your focus to your third eye center. Inhale, back up. So right hand slides along the inside of the left arm. Take your hands now behind you into a prayer position. You can have your prayer pointed down, or if you're more flexible, have it pointed up, your choice. And then bend into your knees. Focus comes to the third eye center. Okay, we'll just repeat that a few times. So inhale, arms up, hands come down the center to your chest or your heart. Focus to your third eye center, bending into the knees. Inhale, arms up, left hand slides on the inside of the right arm, rests underneath your collarbone, bending into your knees, third eye center focus. Inhale, back up, over to the left. Focus, third eye center. Inhale, all the way up, and then coming down to reverse prayer. The hands behind you. Focus, third eye center. Inhale, arms up, hands down into prayer, center of your heart. Inhale, it's up. Left hand slides down the inside of your right, rests underneath your collarbone. Inhale up, exhale down the other arm. Inhale up, back to reverse prayer. And then inhale up, and then let's finish off with just prayer position at the center of the heart. And release. And that one can be done. That's actually sort of a nice little meditation kind of flow. I like to do it. So you can do it as many times as you like. But today we're just going to do it about 3 times. Okay, so let's come down onto our knees. We'll do a little bit of a sunbird, and then we'll move into a couple of other poses. So pat your knees if you like. And here we're going to do the same thing. Have your block handy. We will be using it. And as always, when you're coming down to sunbird, if your hips do not, well, if your hips meet your heels, fine. But if your head doesn't reach the floor, please always use a block. We will be using the block anyhow. But, it's always nice to have something to rest your head on. So on all fours, your hands are slightly in front of your shoulders. We're going to inhale up, lift your chin, open the heart as you come forward slightly. Exhale, tucking the chin, rounding the upper back, coming down, forearms, forehead, and then hips to heels. Inhale, draws yourself forward. This time we're going to pause for 2. Exhale, rounding, tucking chin, rounding the back, forearms, forehead, hips towards the heels. Inhale, draw yourself forward. Pause for 2. Exhale, rounding as you come back. Take your time, feeling into the back. Inhale, draw yourself forward. Pause for 2. Exhale, round as you come back. And one more time. Inhale, come forward. Pause for 2. Tucking the chin, rounding as you come back. Forearms, forehead, hips to the heels. Now take your block, all of you, and place it right underneath your third eye center, right between your eyebrows. And just rock from side to side a little bit. It's rocking on that point, just gentle rocks. It's our space of intuition, wisdom, guidance. That's why the yogis use this point in so many of the things in our meditations. We just finished it in our Bhavasana pose. And then you can release that. From here, we're going to take it into a rabbit pose. Now, certainly, please, as always on this one, you want to be very cautious. If anything going on to your neck, you might want to skip this one, or you can certainly use the block also. So you come up to, maybe bring your knees forward a little bit, depends on where you are on your mat. Draw your hands back closer to your knees and keep your hands there for now. So lower your head down to the floor. You can bring it as close as comfortable towards your knees. And you just lift your hips up a little bit. So you're sort of coming up on the crown of your head. And again, if you need to use the block, please do. Sort of place the block where it's comfortable that you can come up, and we'll just stay there for a few breaths. Just breathing into your rabbit. And then release that back, your hips back down to the heels, Let's just do that one more time. So inhale, hips lift a little bit as you come up onto the crown of the head. Exhale, release. And let's do one more time. Inhale, hips up. And release. And this one is always, just take your time when you come back up on that one. So, okay, so let's go down into our locust pose. Such a good one for upper back strength, for gluteal strength. So come up into locust, and we're going to do just a couple of these with both arms, and we'll try some pauses after our inhale. So stretch one leg back at a time. We're on these as always. We engage our gluteal muscles and our upper back muscles. Your hands will be just underneath your shoulders to start with, and forehead rests on the floor. So from here, we stretch our arms out, so four corners of the mat, and at the same time, stretch the legs out to the mat, the corners at the back of the mat. Inhale, bring your hands back in, lower your forehead back down to the floor. This time we'll try and add a pause for 2 after the inhale. So inhale, four corners, pause for 2, exhale, come back down. One more time. Inhale, four corners, pause for 2, exhale, back down. And that's all. We're just going to do a couple of those. Certainly, if you want to do more, you always can do more of these ones. But I know sometimes it's not a favorite pose for people, because it is a little bit of a tough one. So let's come down back onto your back and lie down on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor. And we'll just rest in constructive rest just for a moment or two. And here, you just rock your knees from side to side, rocking, keep your feet on the floors, rocking onto that sacrum. And then let's lift your knees up, lift your feet up on the floor, and we'll just stretch the legs up a couple of times. So inhale, heels lift towards the ceiling like you're standing on the ceiling. Point the toes. Exhale, bring your knees. If you want to, you can use your hands on your knees. Bring your knees into your chest on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen through the back of the legs as you stretch your legs up. Heels lead. Point the toes, bend the knees, draw them into your chest on the exhale. Inhale, heels lead. So you stand on the ceiling, point the toes, exhale, draw them into your chest. One more time. Inhale, heels lead, stretch up those legs, feel those hamstrings lengthen, point the toes, draw the knees into your chest on the exhale. Lower your feet down to the floor one at a time. And rest here again in constructive rest. We're just going to do a little bit of tapping on our heads and faces. So just taking your fingertips and just gently start tapping the tops of your head, the crown of your head. This sort of is getting everything going, a little bit tapping. And then take the tapping, start at the inside of the eyes and the eyebrows. And it's tapping there. Maybe you would like to go all around your eye, around your eye socket, onto your cheekbones, but focus on that inner eye, maybe over to your temples, And then let's just tap our whole face down into the jaw and maybe up to the head again. A little bit of tapping is called do in, and it's always good to release. And let's just lower our hands back down. So just rest, just notice, take your awareness into your face, to your body. How does your body feel? How does your breath feel? So it would create a little bit more energy for you for the day. And roll yourself over. So let your knees drop to one side. Use both hands to come sit up. And you can grab your cushion or blanket. We'll just spend a minute or so just going back to a little bit of quick meditation. And just releasing, maybe taking a breath, release. Take your awareness into sensations of you sitting in this position, maybe the sides of your feet touching on the mat, sits bones resting on your cushion, your shoulders release, hands on your thighs. Take your awareness, take your focus to that third eye center. Watching the breath, feeling any sensations with non-judgment, non-attachment. Sensations are they're just sensations in most part. Just notice, feel. How's that connecting with your body, connecting with your breath? And releasing that, you can bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer position, or just rest them over your heart, your choice. We'll close our practice for today. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And please leave a comment. Always love to hear from you and see how you're doing, or if there's any questions at all, let me know. Thank you.